Tennis. Alex Eala is heading to the U.S. Open. Manila, Filipino tennis star Alex Eala is playing at the U.S. Open, which begins August 24th. In its latest post, the Rafa Nadal Academy featured photos of the pro players who have been practicing there in Majorca for the U.S. Open and are headed to New York for the last Grand Slam of the year. This post includes the following players: Alex Eala, WTA 68, Danny Rincon, ATP number 290, Elena Korneva, WTA number 197, Coleman Wong, ATP number 177, Martin Landalus, ATP number 124, Solana Sierra, WTA number 72, John Monarclar, ATP number 48. This is good news for Filipinos who are eagerly waiting for Eala's return to the court after she has been sidelined by a shoulder injury since the Canada Open a few weeks ago. Eala is in the main draw of the women's division of the U.S. Open for the first time. The rising tennis star is currently ranked number 68 by the WTA. She also competed in the main draw of the French Open and Wimbledon this year after breaking the top 100 rankings in early March. The New York serve. Alex Eala's bold return to the U.S. Open. By the time the bright lights of New York flicker to life above the Arthur Ashe Stadium, one name from the East is already stirring ripples across the tennis world: Alex Eala. At just 20 years old, the young Filipina has become more than a rising star. She is a symbol of perseverance, of global dreams in motion, of a generation that dares to go beyond borders. And now, she's heading back to the U.S. Open, not just to play, but to compete, to claim space in one of the toughest arenas in tennis. From Manila to major leagues. Born in the tropical heart of the Philippines, Eala's story is unlike most tennis prodigies. She didn't grow up on red clay courts in Paris or manicured lawns in Wimbledon. Instead, she carved her path through the heat, humidity, and hunger of Southeast Asia, supported by a family that believed talent needed both patience and fire. Her early days were anything but conventional. There were no promises, no guarantees, only hard work, a racket, and a belief that something bigger was calling. At 12, she won her first ITF junior title. At 15, she became the first Filipina to win a Grand Slam title, a doubles victory at the Australian Open Juniors with Prisca Negroho. But it was in 2022, at the U.S. Open Girls Singles, where she truly made history, becoming the first Filipino to win a junior Grand Slam singles title. That one wasn't just for her. It was for every young athlete in an archipelago of 7,000 islands who was told their dreams were too far, too foreign, too big. 2025, a different game. Now, 3 years later, Alex Eala is no longer the wide-eyed junior. She's a professional, a contender, a player walking onto Flushing Meadows hard courts with more than just a smile. She carries weight, strategy, and experience. This year's U.S. Open is different. Her game has matured. Aggressive baseline rallies mixed with finesse, drop shots, and calculated net play. She's no longer just chasing points. She's constructing matches, anticipating the opponent's every move like a chess grandmaster in motion. Her forehand? Deadly. Her mental game? Sharper than ever. Her serve? A weapon now, no longer just reliable, but commanding. Eyes on the draw. With the 2025 U.S. Open draw looming, all eyes are on where Eala lands. Will she face a top 10 seed in the first round? A grueling 5-set battle under the stadium lights? Or perhaps a golden opportunity to blaze through the early rounds? Regardless, Alex is ready. "I've stopped playing to prove people wrong," she said in a recent interview. "Now, I play to prove to myself that I belong here." And belong she does. She's climbed the rankings steadily, earning her spot not through wild cards or flukes, but through grinding performances in ITF and WTA events across Europe and Asia. She's taken down veterans and pushed top-seeded players to their limits. She is, as some analysts now say, one breakout match away from becoming a household name. The Eala effect. Her presence at the U.S. Open brings something rare, a Southeast Asian voice in a sport still heavily dominated by Western narratives. She brings the colors of the Philippine flag to center court, cheered on by OFWs in Queens, Filipino families in California, and kids in Manila watching on mobile phones at 3 a.m. Her story has sparked a tennis movement back home. Courts are filling up. Kids are picking up rackets instead of phones. Coaches are being hired in places that never had tennis programs before. I see myself in her, says 10-year-old Jasmine from Cebu, clutching her pink racket. If she can do it, maybe I can too. Eala has unknowingly become a mirror for a country hungry for sporting heroes, especially in tennis, where global success has long been elusive. Tales of the tour. Behind the glamour of the Grand Slam lights, though, Eala's journey remains grounded. Her Instagram is a mix of sweaty practice sessions, home-cooked meals on the road, late-night study routines, she's still taking courses part-time, and heartfelt messages to her fans. Her team is small, tight-knit, humble. They don't travel with entourages, just grit and focus. Between tournaments, you might find her quietly reading in a corner, headphones on, dissecting past matches, or practicing footwork drills until her socks tear from friction. One coach remarked, "She doesn't complain. She learns. That's her gift." It's not just about raw talent. It's about discipline. Her stint at the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca honed that, built her game. Yes, but more importantly, built her mindset. You either break or break through, Nadal once said. Eala has chosen the latter. A glimpse of the future. Will this be the tournament where Alex Eala shocks the world? Maybe. She's not expected to win the title. Not yet. But then again, she wasn't expected to win the juniors in 2022 either. What's certain is this. The girl who once watched Serena Williams on TV is now walking through the same locker rooms, warming up on the same courts, and signing autographs for young fans who call her the inspiration. If she makes it past the first round, the momentum could shift. If she reaches the second week, media stories will change. They'll stop asking, "Who is Alex Eala?" and start asking, "Can she win this thing?" And even if she doesn't go all the way this year, she'll be back, and back again, because her story isn't a single tournament fairy tale. It's a novel in progress. Final serve. As the U.S. Open begins, Alex Eala steps onto American soil with more than luggage and rackets. She brings a nation's hopes, a continent's pride, and her own personal fire. Win or lose, she's already changing the game. In a sport where aces and errors make headlines, it's her story. The rise from tropical courts to tennis temples, that truly inspires. So as the crowd roars and the neon scoreboard counts down the match time, remember this. You're watching not just a player, but a pioneer. And her journey is only just beginning.